Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles as they take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks very much. Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious US Bank Stadium. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And, partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
The man back in purple in 2019, Dan Bailey, to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz in his 4th season now out of North Dakota State, ready to bring out this Eagles offense. And he's had to sit and watch Nick Foles under center during Philly's last 2 playoff runs. So health will be a key for Wentz in 2019, no doubt. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a play fake. Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do. And we're talking about Jason Kelsey now, not Travis, his brother, who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Shotgun now for Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Linval Joseph in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Vikings heading out, and it's Kirk Cousins at the helm in his 2nd season in purple and white, 8th year overall. 30 touchdown passes for him a season ago. That's a career high as he aims to get the Vikings back into the postseason. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Play action now, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 22 yards there, a 1st down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. First down, here's Cousins. Over the middle to Smith. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the red zone now, Cousins. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Cousins. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Wentz now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Wentz will try again on second down. Ertz has it left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he's got it complete to Darren Sproles. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. The kick by Elliott is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Play fake. Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Handoff comes to Cook. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. In your face.
On 2nd down and 4. Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just one fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. On 1st and 10, Cousins. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they'll get this down to the 10. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Now Cousins. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Back to throw. That is caught inside the 5. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Cousins to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Bailey's kick is good. And with a little more than a minute to go, we are all tied. This hasn't exactly been a battle of one touchdown after the other, quite the opposite. But at 3-3 now here in the fourth, it's been an entertaining game considering just 2 field goals.
Yeah, is it really a football game now, or are we watching baseball? Because this feels like a pitcher's duel, doesn't it? Nice, intense, on the edge of your seat. Have you been scoring this one? A lot of strikeouts and ground balls in this one.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that.
Here we go. Back. 120.
Back to throw. Wentz. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Here we go. 180.
Now Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football, but this couldn't be much worse, could it?
No.
This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T-form. They're already in field goal range here late in the fourth now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker and just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're on the outskirts of field goal range here in a tie game with a little time. So how do you handle this? What do you do here, Charles?
Everybody wants to pick up as much yardage as possible, but the weird part is for field goal kickers, being in really close sometimes puts more pressure on them because it's much more of a position kick as opposed to just going ahead and letting it out and letting it thump. A lot of guys like a little bit of distance because you know they can handle it, and it's a more natural swing of the leg.
So maybe getting inside the 20, not that big of a deal.
Not that huge of a deal. Sometimes that messes you up with the angles depending on which hash mark you're kicking from.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll keep it on the ground. Cook. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And his kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.